Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Kung Fu Katrina.
Okay.
And Jiu-Jitsu Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh man.
Oh, yeah, Kung Fu
Jiu-Jitsu, some karate.
Yeah.
So there's some, fight scenes and choreography in this movie we're about to talk about. So that's where the names come from. Today we're going to talk about the 2023 film Renfield.
Yeah.
And before we get into it, I wanted to show our little display here. We got some masks. We got Freddy and Leatherface and Michael up there. We got Art in the middle row, Jason and Sam from Trick or Treat. And then we got...
Night of the Living Dummy.
What is that? Oh, yeah. We got Slappy over there. We got Pennywise and...
Saw.
And then we got, Billy the
name?
Puppet.
And
Gizmo and Chucky. Yeah.
Chucky.
Oh, and Ghostface. And signed Halloween script. So,
Man.
Be jealous. All right. And of course, like and subscribe, follow our show. Joel?
And I've got a Halloween mug.
Look at that.
All right.
Nice.
Cheers.
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 All right, enough of that. Joel, who is a part of this?
All right, so this one stars Nicolas Cage. He is Dracula. And everyone knows Nicolas Cage, but I'm gonna say some of his stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what movies you choose.
Some of them are different.
All right.
Just last year, he was in a movie. I think last year or the year before, he was in a movie called "The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent."
Oh
comedy,
yeah,
where he plays himself.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
I never saw it.
You didn't see it?
No,
Who did I see it with?
Oh,
I mean, I guess you don't need to say, but
drama.
I don't remember.
But it was fun.
This dog better not be barking. Hey, no. Okay, yeah, I do want to see that. Anyways,
I heard it was really funny. So
it was a lot of fun.
And then we got Bringing Out the Dead.
Oh yeah,
got to put some horror in there. He's done a couple horror movies, so. And a 1980s, I think, movie called Vampire's Kiss. So he is not.
Okay.
He is familiar with the vampire genre.
Yeah. Okay. This isn't his first rodeo.
It's not. And he was in a movie called The Family Man in 2000.
Oh yeah.
Where I actually have a short story about that.
Oh.
In my senior year of high school, I was in drama for a semester. And we all had to do monologues. I'd find monologues and everything. And I chose my monologue from Family Man. It was
nice.
The last scene. It was Nicolas Cage's speech at the end of the movie.
Yeah. When they're at the airport.
Yeah, the airport scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those cliche love story moments where the guy's, trying to get the girl who's about to go away.
Yeah. And then he does movies where he doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Willy's Wonderland. We've got that review on here too.
Yes.
Go check that out.
That's a lot of fun. I like that one.
Yeah.
And then we've got Nicholas Hoult. We got 2 Nicks starring in this movie. He was in The Menu from last year.
Oh,
From
okay.
November, actually.
We
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah. Well, 2 of us did. The other one didn't really.
I did. I liked it.
Not
Just
enough.
Not as much as you guys.
Not enough.
It was our number 3 of the year.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Jack the Giant Slayer.
All
Nice.
Warm Bodies, which I did like that movie.
Oh.
And I think it's next year, he is going to be in a remake of Nosferatu, which is another Dracula movie, with the original Dracula movie from like 1922.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
wow.
I don't think it says who he's playing, but Willem Dafoe is in it. So I'm hoping he's Dracula, because he would be a good Dracula, I think.
William Dafoe?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, he would make a good one.
Yeah.
But it's a Robert Eggers movie, who is the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
He's like, so it's probably going to be an A24 movie, most likely.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
It'd be interesting to see an A24 Dracula movie. So, and then we've got Aquafina.
Yeah.
She's
Water.
Yeah. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, Jumanji: The Next Level, which is the sequel to the Kevin Hart, Jack Black Jumanji movies, and she was in Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings from 2021, I want to say.
Okay.
A couple years ago. And this was written, this one, from what I understand, has a couple writers. Ryan Ridley, he did the screenplay. He did 25 episodes of Community, 10 episodes of Rick and Morty, and 19 episodes of a show called Acceptable TV. So,
okay.
So,
Acceptable TV and Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So that's where the comedy comes in, I guess. And the other stuff he was doing.
Uh-huh.
And then we got Robert Kirkman, who is most well known for creating The Walking Dead. So that's where the gore in this movie comes from.
Okay.
All right.
He also created a comic book that was turned into a TV show also, called Invincible. And he created a horror comic called Outcast, which I guess had like a season worth of episodes like 10 years ago or so. And then this was directed by, this is a longer one, sorry for this intro, guys. This is a longer one. This was directed by Chris McKay. He directed the Tomorrow War Lego Batman movie.
Oh, nice.
And 59 episodes of Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Nice. All right.
So I got a lot of different stuff in this between these writers and directors. So.
All right, what's it about?
So we got Renfield, Dracula's henchman, and inmate at the lunatic asylum for decades, longs for a life away from the Count, his various demands, and all of the bloodshed that comes with them.
A lunatic asylum?
Yeah, that was the hospital that they were at. That he was.
That they just chose to
That they chose to stay at.
So okay,
it was like
they make it sound
asylum,
like he was actually at the asylum.
Right. No, it was a rundown.
I don't know if I'm spoiling.
Abandoned building, but
yeah.
So yes, good point. We're not going to get into spoilers until after we give
Except
our
for that
grade
one.
and stuff. Yeah.
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 How dare
Big
you.
spoiler.
Spoiler alert, this
spoilers.
is not a movie about
It's not a movie about
lunatic
asylums.
asylum.
It's the big twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all just in their head. They're all in a loony bin. Okay, so Dracula movie with Nicolas Cage. That was enough to sell me on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage being Dracula as well was a selling point. I think the
What
trailer,
sold you most? Dracula, like a Dracula movie, or Nicolas Cage?
Oh no,
being
Nicolas
in it?
Cage being Dracula
Okay.
or being in it at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a big like Dracula fan
Yeah.
or vampire
Mhm.
fan in general. I think they're too romanticized and kind of boring,
Yeah.
honestly. Most of the time. Like I like some vampire stuff, but most of them not really.
Mhm.
Like Lost Boys. I like Lost Boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twilight, not so much.
Yeah. But and when it comes to Dracula, I don't know that there's many versions of that I really like.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage being Dracula, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was hoping for a fun movie, and I think that's what it delivered.
Yeah.
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 What about you guys?
I'm the same. Like Dracula, I could go either way. I don't never really like thought about Dracula as like something I care about, but
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, I will see a Nicolas Cage movie, and so Nicolas Cage as Dracula, that sounded fabulous to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
What about you, Joel?
Same with me. The movie, the first trailer that we get, we don't even see Nicolas Cage as Dracula until like the last like shot
Yeah.
of that trailer.
yeah.
So if you were like, if it looked fun for you, like the trailer leading up into that point, I think most people got even more excited when Nicolas Cage was the one that was shown to be Dracula.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So I was really looking forward to this one. I think this was on our most anticipated.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
for
this
all of
was
us.
my very most anticipated. I think this was my
maybe.
top
Yeah.
anticipated movies.
Yeah, it was definitely on all of our lists. But this movie, like I read, is yes, Dracula is a big part of it, but also Renfield is
Mhm.
really the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he
that's
is.
pretty clear in the trailer. And
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
So
Mhm.
that's not a
Mhm.
spoiler. But I will say, Nicolas Cage is in this movie a lot more than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I wanted him to
was
be
a
in more,
positive.
but he was in a lot more than I thought too. The
Yeah.
fact that he was shown the last scene of that trailer that we got made it seem like it was not going to be a Dracula movie, which I
Yeah.
mean it technically wasn't, but I feel like it was just almost just as much a Dracula movie as it was a Renfield movie. It was
Yeah.
about him escaping Dracula, but at
Yeah.
the same time, he was a very big part of
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
And every scene he was in was the best part of the movies. It's like he really
Yeah.
did make this movie for me.
Yeah. Yeah. He did a great job. The effects and stuff for how they made him look was good. And it kind of added to some of the comedy as well. And
Yeah.
I thought this was a good mix of comedy and then some action, well, some real over the top action
Yeah.
with
It's like a Kill Bill movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with a lot
With
of
like
violence and blood and
Yeah.
guts everywhere. And yeah, some of the, you guys got those martial arts names because some of those choreography scenes with the fighting was pretty intense.
Yeah.
With, like some of those moves that he was doing, and even his little buddy who is a part of the movie as well. She did pretty good with all of her fighting.
She has her
skills.
own little side story going on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah, there is that other side character too, which we won't get into too much about her, but yeah, I would say she actually is one of the bigger negatives that I have for the movie. She kind of grew on me later in the movie, but for the first probably half to 3/4 of the movie, she was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of her character or her acting. I liked her story,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
Yeah.
they were trying, I feel like, too hard to make her funny. And
They've done
I
that
think
a couple.
she tries to be
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they did that in Shang-Chi also. She was the comedy
Oh.
relief of that movie, and
Oh, really?
it's just yeah,
She's
she does try too hard to
Yeah.
to be funny.
She's
so.
one of those female comedians that is just obnoxious and not funny.
You mean like most?
Like most, yes. I do not like women comedians.
We'll have to do another
It
episode
is-
on that.
It's not easy.
Yeah,
Name
that's-
one.
um,
Sorry, I'm all
I'm
about
all-
women's rights.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say I'm all about like loving women, but they are not funny. Like I don't know.
And that's coming from a woman, folks.
That
So
is.
this is not some like misogynistic.
But yeah, she is definitely one of those really obnoxious people to me.
Yeah.
I would say she's pretty much my only negative of
Yeah.
the movie.
Okay. I'll add another.
I have one that isn't a negative, but a
Mix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that in the spoilers.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
for sure, for sure.
Curious about that.
The other kind of negative I have is I feel like the first act and the third act are really strong, but in the middle, it was kind of like fast and kind of just, I don't know, it didn't flow very well, I didn't think. Like the middle part of the movie. It was kind of just one of those like scene by scene. It didn't feel cohesive until maybe it was just too many scenes in the middle, because the beginning has just a couple of scenes that are really important. Then the end has just a couple of scenes, and then the middle is kind of just jumbled, I felt like.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't like bad, but
Mhm.
it definitely was the weaker part of the movie, I
Okay.
thought.
Okay.
So, what do you
I'd
think,
have
Joel?
to like see when do you count it the middle? And
Yeah, it's
like
most movies are like 3 acts,
Yeah.
right? So, I can't say what is what. But
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I really like this movie. I'm trying to like find stuff that I really actually didn't like about it. And
Aquafina?
You like Dasani.
I
Yeah.
hope she's not like
Yeah,
listening.
I'm a Dasani fan. She was fine. Like what Danny was saying, she kind of got on my nerves a little bit in the beginning, but she is a character that does grow on you after a while. She did in the other movies that I've seen her in as well. She was kind of annoying at first, and then she kind of grows on you. But yeah, and I kind of knew that going in because I've seen other stuff with her in it, and I was like, okay, she's kind of annoying, but let's see how she does in this. And yeah, it was the same with that. I at first didn't really like the fact that he gets superpowers when he like eats a bug. I thought that was, I mean, you're talking about like a Dracula movie, so like everything goes pretty much.
Yeah.
When you're talking about that, but it's like it kind of takes something away from the movie when it's like a superhero movie all of a sudden. Like it's it's just, I had that problem because it shows that in the trailers. Like it doesn't show a lot in the trailers, but it shows some of the stuff, like him eating a bug and then him like his eyes turning and him getting superpowers and just beating everyone up. That stopped being a problem for me during like the apartment scene where he's kicking everyone, and that scene was really cool.
Yeah.
And that part
See,
of that
that's like
scene
where
is
the
shown-
third act starts to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
after, sorry, I want to say
No,
this real quick. After the restaurant scene, is where like the second act starts.
The
Okay.
second act, when you're
Yeah.
introduced to Aquafina,
Yeah.
or when they meet
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that stopped being an issue for me after that. I was like, okay, this is really cool. This is so over the top. Like,
Yeah. That scene
this is
was
the
so
most
crazy.
over the top scene, but I loved it. And the CGI blood
Mhm.
usually is too cartoonish, but it works for this movie.
It
Oh,
does
yeah.
work for this movie.
It
was so
that-
obviously CGI and fake.
Yeah, it was. And it's just so
But-
ridiculous.
That's why
Like,
it works. Was they didn't try to make it
Yeah,
serious.
it's kind of like the mean
Yeah.
one. Like it almost
Yeah.
looked exactly the
Mhm.
same as far as the
Yeah.
the blood.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Mhm.
and they did it during parts that you couldn't take it seriously. It was
Yeah.
so over the
Yeah.
top, so crazy.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the same feeling I got when I watched like Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
That I remember cracking up in the theater.
That's supposed to be serious,
when-
though. That's
I know, but I was
That's the
cracking
difference.
up when like he gets his head chopped off. And it's like the
Some of
funniest
it, yeah.
scene. And
That's
then,
90s CGI for you. Like, it's
yeah.
not very good.
And I remember just busting up laughing, and some of these things that like are crazy and gory and like horrible to happen, I'm like cracking up
Yeah.
in the theater. That, and I think that it was a great reference saying it was like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Definitely.
This could have been directed by Quentin Tarantino. Like, it just especially the action, those types of scenes, especially that
yeah,
apartment scene, was just like,
Yeah.
this is straight out of Kill Bill. Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
something he would do. But yeah, so like, besides, and that's only the first half of the movie. So after that, like, I had really no problems with anything that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
I really liked comedian Ben Schwartz. He's like
Mhm.
The therapist guy.
no, the
Oh,
guy,
no.
the bad guy, the bad guy's son.
Oh, okay.
Who he had a bigger part in this than I thought that he was going to have.
Yeah.
And I thought he did really well in this role, and I just there was a lot of like also kick-ass kind of moments, like the movie Kick-Ass, like
Yeah.
I could relate that to
With the mob,
that movie.
like yeah.
the mob and going after him, and just like
Yeah.
the over the top action and violence
Yeah.
in that movie too.
Yeah.
And I had a blast with this movie. It was
Yeah.
It's fun.
probably the most fun movie of the year horror so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're only in April, so
I agree with that. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because the mean one was last year.
Yeah.
That movie was so
Yeah,
much
such
fun.
a big fan. So okay, one more negative, and it's not. It's just the main villain, the woman.
Well, yes,
Her
that was my
voice.
next thing. That was my next thing.
Her voice.
You
is
remember
too
her from
much.
24?
I
Oh.
do, and she didn't sound that crazy in like her. I don't know if her voice has changed over the years because she was in something else.
The flight
attendant.
Oh my gosh.
And her voice is like, are you trying to sound like a monster or something when you talk?
Well,
or-
it's painful to listen
Yeah,
to. It
yeah,
really
it's a little
is.
much.
Like,
Probably painful to talk too. Like
yeah.
Yes.
And that's why it's so painful to listen to, because
Yeah.
it's like,
You gotta
what's
get that-
happening?
Get that checked out.
Yeah. And
she's
it
been
reminds
smoking
me
for the last 50 years. And
Well,
she's-
that's exactly it. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the commercials with the lady who gets the hole in her throat.
smoking out of a
And-
hole in her throat.
Yeah, it reminds me of her. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm listening to that lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
She plays
I
a
mean,
good bad guy.
she does, but
Yeah.
I was so glad that she wasn't in it that much.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I do not like hearing her, seeing her, anything. Oh, get out of here.
And
I mean,
she's
it
good
may
in
have got-
24 too.
Yeah, it may have gotten worse over the years, but like she's sounded basically like I remember her in the stuff that I've seen. It may, because when the moments that she speaks, like it's the most that I've seen of her at one time, pretty much. Like
Mhm.
she's in episodes of 24 throughout like a season or so,
Yeah.
but her parts aren't as like she's not in like an hour of
Yeah.
the show at one time. So it's
Right.
she's not in all of the movie, but she's in a good portion of it.
Mhm.
And so just maybe the most that she's talked in in a while, like as far as like movies go and stuff, because she's never
Yeah.
like a main character in
Yeah.
anything that I've seen her in.
She talks a good amount in Flight Attendant.
Mhm.
And it's like, man, I just want to skip those episodes. like, man. Yeah, she is definitely my other. So I don't like the women in this this movie.
There's like two, and Katrina's not.
Yeah.
I do like.
There's also the sister of Aquafina.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't like her either. So
she's only in like 3 scenes anyway. It's not
yeah, but it was obnoxious.
She has like 3 lines.
Yeah.
The whole, which is in the trailer, the whole like self-help group or the
Yeah.
I don't remember what they called it. It was for codependent.
It was something anonymous. It was
yeah. Was it
what they called
codependence?
That's what they kept talking
Yeah.
about during the meetings, but that wasn't part of the title of the group. I don't know. But that stuff was cool. It was funny at times, but then also kind of like had a serious
it had a message.
Yeah.
It had a message.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
Yeah.
My other negative is
they keep coming.
yeah, well, they showed too much of that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I think the trailer was awesome because it did like get you like, oh, this is gonna be so fun, you know. And there were certain lines that it was like, well, that didn't have to be in the trailer because that was like a not monumental line, but it was like
it would have been so
man, that would have
better.
been so funny to hear for the first time in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was like, why do they have to do that? Those trailers. So, I mean, the trailer did get me even more excited for the movie.
Yeah.
And I was glad that that wasn't the only self-help scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid.
Yeah, there's multiple.
Yeah, I was afraid that it was going to be like, oh, this is the one scene of him being in a self-help group. And it makes it seem like this is the movie. And then they're never going to show it again or something.
Yeah.
But I was glad that wasn't the only scene, and that wasn't like the best scene of the movie that okay, now we've seen everything good about the movie. So
all right, are we ready to grade it?
I think so.
I think we've talked about what we can. We may have even put in some spoilers in there and through our talk, but
I don't think so.
I think we did pretty good.
I don't think so. I mean, you had mentioned something that I didn't realize was in the trailer, but that's because I only watched the one trailer.
Okay.
You know, I don't.
The
bug
stuff.
The
first, the
bug
thing. Yeah.
I thought that was in the first trailer. Okay. I don't know.
She tries to not pay attention to trailers.
Very much, yeah. And once it starts getting into stuff, I'm like, I'm not watching.
Yeah.
So I could have closed my eyes at that point.
That may have been in the second trailer. I'm not. Yeah, they tend to show a lot more in a second, third trailer. Sometimes they have 3,
which is
they
why I
never
don't.
have 3. But
yeah. That's why I won't watch anything but the first trailer, and even the first one I try not to. Watch.
Pay attention. Yeah.
All right, let's get the grade books out. Joel, let's go with you first.
All right.
What do you got?
I had a lot of fun with this movie. This is definitely one that I'm gonna watch more than just the one time. very few things that I had negative about it. So I was fighting between two. I'm gonna go with 88 for this one.
Whoa, that's a big one. All right,
It is a big
Oh.
one.
what do you got?
I'm going even bigger.
Oh, dang.
I loved this movie. I'm excited to see it again. I am looking forward to purchasing it and watching it more and more and more
Okay.
times. Love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I just love pretty much any movie he's in. And there was only one thing that made me give it a 0.5. So I'm going to give it
A what?
a 0.5. So I'm going to give it a 96.5.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Well, I don't know what I've rated other things, but
Oh,
I'm like, this
dang.
was because I feel like I rated some other stuff in 90s. So
I mean, yeah, you did rate Fear like 100 or something.
oh, probably. I don't know if I could even get through watching Fear now. I'm giving it a 96.5
Okay.
because
Wow.
I was thinking
like a
about
radio
97. Yeah, but that one scene.
Aquafina?
No,
Oh.
no, the one we're going to talk about later.
Oh, okay.
That.
Oh, yeah. That scene. I
it was
liked
the
that
best scene.
Yeah.
One of the best. And it was like, so we'll talk about that in a little
Can't wait to
bit.
hear what this
Keep
scene is.
listening. More
Yeah.
spoilers.
Well, unless you haven't seen it, and then
Unless you haven't seen
which
it.
case,
just come back
don't.
and listen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go just an 80. I'll go
Oh,
with an 80.
Wow.
It's good. It's fun. But I would watch it again. But like, I don't know. I'm not gonna like spend money and go see it again in the theater or something.
oh, I would. I think I'm going to.
Okay.
Because our kids haven't seen it yet.
That's true.
And
That's true.
I want to see it with them because it'll
Yeah.
be so fun to just crack up in the theater with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll leave you home.
No.
That's fine.
So yeah, I'll give it an 80. It's pretty good.
Still B. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low B.
It's a B minus, but you know,
Yeah.
still B.
Okay.
All right. So let's.
We don't
get
have our
into-
sound machine, so we have
Yeah.
to go boom. Wait, what?
I'll add a sound in. Don't worry.
I know. What's the sound though? Okay.
All right, it's spoiler time. So we're dying to know what this scene is. So
Yeah.
Joel's dying to know.
Yeah,
I have
Danny
no idea
kinda
what
knows.
scene. I mean, I'm going to know once you say it.
Do you
'cause
have
it's
any
gonna-
guesses?
You know, you said it's one of the best scenes of the movie, but something must happen for it to lower your score. So
doesn't really make any
I
sense.
don't know.
Oh,
It's the
it
best.
makes sense.
I know, but in his mind right now, like it's the best scene of the movie, but it lowered your score.
Yeah, something happened that made
It
it lower
was
your
tough to
score.
watch. It was tough to watch. You're not gonna get it.
I didn't pick up on it. either.
Okay, so here's the thing. This movie, because they're at this self-help group,
Mhm.
it's like about being in either abusive relationships or unhealthy relationships, codependent
Mhm.
relationships, all that. And they're talking about how to get out of these relationships and empowering yourself and standing up to the person who, you know, they're talking about like narcissistic abuse with Dracula and everything.
Yeah.
And so Renfield is getting empowered, you know, and that's the part that like I do enjoy Aquafina in, where she they're cute.
I can't believe her name is Aquafina.
I know, it's annoying. That's annoying
Her
all in
stage
of
name.
itself. The fact
It's
that she
Aquafina with a
thinks she-
W.
well, and the fact that she
Aquafina.
thinks that she needs a stage name is annoying all in itself.
Yeah.
A lot of them
Um,
have them. Like Nicolas Cage, that's not his real last name. So.
Yeah, but he has two. He has a first and last name.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
Nicolas
does, I
Cage.
know.
Like,
and she's a water.
and And she's who?
Yeah, and who
Who
are
is
you?
she? Like, really?
She's H2O.
Come on. She is bland, just like Wonder Woman. But no. So going back to the spoiler, Renfield is getting empowered to have his own life, and he's making it. He's done so great for himself. He got himself a new outfit. He got himself an apartment. He decorated it. Totally living in the 70s, which is so fun. And and he's doing it. He's so happy. You see it. You see the change in the transformation. And then he gets home and Dracula's there. And they have this big fight, and Dracula is just like making fun of all the transformations, and the way he talks to him is like, it was too real. It was like a real abusive relationship.
So
And
that's the point of the movie. Like that's
I know, but
why he's in that group. You took it away because it was real? Like,
no, that's why I said it was one of the best scenes, because it was so good. And it felt so real. It was hard for me to watch. Like, I was like uncomfortable. My stomach was in knots. Like, I was
There's the horror part of the movie.
Yeah, but it was not horror though. I mean, it was horrific, but it was like nauseous feeling. It was so hard to watch that abuse, because it was so real.
Yeah. I loved his welcome mat though. Because you have to be welcomed in order, Dracula does. And so his welcome mat just says, welcome, come on in.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That's like a vampire thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I did see that they
showed
it and made like an emphasis on it, but I didn't understand why.
Yeah, for a vampire, you have to be welcomed in.
Yeah.
If you're a vampire.
That's why in his meeting when Dracula was just about to walk in and the guy running it was like, come on in, and he was like, no. That's because he was being welcomed into the place. Yeah. Because he's not.
Interesting.
He wouldn't have been able to if that was the case.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Little vampire lore. There's another piece of vampire lore at the end of it that doesn't really quite make sense to me, but we'll get to that in a little bit, I guess.
Well, go to it. Go to it.
Do it. I already finished mine.
Okay. So, from what I understand in like most vampire stuff, if someone gets killed and you're fed a vampire's blood, it doesn't just heal you; you become a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
So the people that he brought back to life at the end of the movie with Dracula's blood, are they vampires now? Because this world doesn't seem like they have any vampires.
Yeah.
Well, because Renfield then would be a vampire, right? Because
I don't think he
saved
ever actually
Renfield.
died. I don't think he ever actually died, though. He was when he got his stomach split,
I guess he didn't.
He was healing him. He didn't
heal
him.
Die. He healed him. He didn't die. Okay. Yeah. So you have to be brought back to life to be
from a vampire's blood in order to live, and you're a vampire at that point. Yeah. But it's like they didn't specify any of that when they brought the entire anonymous group back to life, and
movie
when they brought Awkwafina's sister back to life.
Maybe there's gonna be a movie too.
I want more of these movies.
Oh, absolutely.
It actually didn't do that well.
I know
it didn't,
which is I found surprising.
Yeah,
but it came out the same weekend as The Pope's Exorcist,
Yeah.
Which-
and
which
Super
was
Mario.
Well, Mario was the week.
Well,
before.
that's been out for a
Oh, it
couple
was?
weeks. at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about that is Renfield's date never changed. But the Pope's
Mhm.
Exorcist was supposed to come out the week before. They probably moved it because of Mario, maybe.
Because of Mario.
Oh.
And then it ended up coming out on the same week. 2
Mhm.
horror movies. Actually, 3 horror movies came out. But
What was the
2
other
of the
one?
bigger ones. Nefarious is what it's
Mhm.
called.
I'm supposed to know
Anyways.
these things, huh?
Anyways.
It's in theaters.
yeah.
It's a bigger release. It's even in my theater, and we don't get like
Oh.
smaller movies like that. But
Yeah.
we got that one.
So, I think that might have hurt Renfield, having the Pope's
More-
Exorcist come out the same week.
Well,
it's
I'm proud to
unfortunate 'cause
say-
it's like
Go ahead.
I was
You
just-
can
I was
say
just
what's
gonna say
unfortunate.
it's unfortunate because like most people would pay to see a Russell Crowe movie than they would a Nicolas Cage movie, I think.
Yeah.
So if you're
Which
gonna
is
choose between the
sad.
two, people are gonna go see a Russell Crowe movie as opposed to Nicolas Cage.
yeah.
I mean they're both Academy Award winning actors, so like this was a good weekend for horror. Like
Yeah.
to get 2 like A-list actors in horror movies, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was a big reason why it didn't do very well.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
Yeah.
it'll do well once it is released to like streaming and stuff and
Yeah.
on demand, because it did a lot worse from what I've read than I thought it was going to, and what
Mhm.
it deserves. Like, I feel like it's barely going to be profitable, if at all, at this
Yeah.
point. With
Wow.
the,
Well, especially
opening
with-
weekend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, with like Nicolas Cage in it, I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Probably cost
A lot,
money.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm proud to say that we saw Renfield first.
we did.
So,
Yes, I had to beg her
Yeah.
to see
We put-
the Pope's Exorcist.
yes, he did. I had to lose a bet, and
You were just not going to be a part of that episode.
no, I was like, no way. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing Evil Dead. Danny lucked
Oh,
out
you-
because Evil Dead comes out on his birthday. So we
True.
have decided,
Nice.
fine, we have to see it. And then I lost a bet because the Warriors won against the Kings.
This was a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. They haven't
Not
won in
Jan.
the playoffs. And
Not
so
yet.
if the Kings won, I wouldn't have to see Pope's Exorcist. But
Yeah. And I wasn't supposed to see Mario, but
yeah, I know.
I ended up seeing Mario anyways because it looked fun.
Because why not?
I still haven't watched that one yet. I want to, but
You haven't seen it yet? Oh my
Not
gosh.
yet.
Yeah, it's fun.
You gotta go see it.
All right.
We've
so
been busy at the theater.
is there any more spoilers to talk about, or I don't feel like there's
there
like,
was
a lot to say spoiler wise. I don't know.
Joel has
I
something
want
else.
to talk
Okay.
about that scene that we were talking about before, the apartment scene. I didn't want to go into like details of a certain thing that happened in that scene until the spoilers, but
Okay.
when the guy's arms get ripped off and
Oh yeah, and
are
he's
like
beating them
used
with
as spears.
That was so
It was
fabulous.
yeah,
what?
he throws it. Yeah,
That was so much fun.
Like pins the 2 guys against the door, and I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful." So
Yeah.
ridiculous and just
Yeah.
like,
It was really funny. And
it's-
doesn't he like just rip someone's face off?
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it was hilarious. Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh,
So
man.
random. But yeah, that was amazing. That scene,
Yeah.
yeah, the apartment complex. Like,
It's one of
I
my
don't
favorite
know.
scenes in the movie.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like in movies you don't see apartment complexes very often,
Mhm.
so it was a
Yeah.
very different setting for a
Yeah.
action scene like that.
Yeah,
It
and that
just-
Yeah.
type of complex.
yeah, it was like the close quarters kind of
Mhm.
tight scenario with the halls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. A lot of fun.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
You guys ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I've already yawned.
Where are we
a
going?
number of times.
we're getting out of here. Go find us on, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify or something. We have video. We've been doing video for a few months now, so go check us out on YouTube.
February, I think.
Yeah, go check us out on YouTube. On Spotify, there's also video. If you're just listening to the audio, you can see video on there as well.
Follow us there too.
Yes, follow
Spotify,
us there. Follow us
our,
on YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us some comments too. We want to hear.
Yeah,
from
we
you
love
guys.
comments. We love to hear what you guys think, and we have so much fun hearing and listening to the comments.
Yeah,
I guess
so.
I listen to them because. Well, I listen to them because Danny reads them to me,
okay.
so I get to listen.
There's no voicemail thing on our comments.
He's my voicemail. Play.
So yeah, just pop in and say hi, even if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what you like most. Tell us what you want to hear, what you want to see.
Yeah. Tell us which host you like the most.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll put a poll up.
Oh, we're getting dangerous over here.
Oh, man.
All right. That was our review on Renfield from 2023, and this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Definitely don't let Dracula bite.
Oh, yeah. You don't want him to bite.
No.